You can go to the Blackbird Cafe for breakfast.
All right, welcome
Yeah.
back. We have with us Larry Nelson. He's with Men of Integrity. And you have an event coming up. We look here. It's, what's it called?
Called Stepping Up.
Stepping
men's
Up.
Event.
Men's event.
This is the.
Is this a men's only event?
men's only? My
Okay.
wife told me the best way to ruin a men's event is to have women around.
Exactly.
That
That's
sounds
a quote.
logical to me.
You can go ahead and tell Brenda because she knows she
Yeah.
actually said that. It's the day before the Super Bowl. It's Saturday.
Thank
And it's-
goodness.
It's called Stepping Up. Family Life Ministries out of Little Rock has developed this curriculum, and they have put together a DVD series that works with a workbook, and it's designed mainly for men and men's issues, for guys to get together and talk about things that men just don't talk about much.
Like
are we
what?
supposed to- yeah, like
Well, like
Since I don't get to come, you need to tell me.
what? I'll give you the website. You can
Okay,
look
you
at all
give me a
the video.
website and I'll look it up.
The one of the things that they talk about early on is what defines a man. How does our culture define a man, and how is a man defined biblically, and how are they alike and how are they different? When do you think you became a man? I heard that question. I'd never really thought about it. And there are other issues about living courageously, about living your faith, about surrender, about mentoring people, about regret, about leadership in your church, in your workplace, in your family, with your children, with spouses, parents, all. It touches on just about everything. And you know, guys, we really don't like to talk much about weakness because it's not a man thing, but we are. And when we talk about the things where we're vulnerable or where we're weak or where we really would like to have some advice or some help, we tend to kind of self-implode, and we don't know what to do. We don't know who to go ask.
And we feel like we need to do it on our own, don't we?
Yeah, because that's what
Yeah.
men do. We solve stuff. We fix things, and if we can't fix it, then there's
It can't
something
be
wrong
fixed.
with us.
Yeah.
Not that the fact
Well,
that
if you
we
can't
get
fix
some
it,
help.
you ignore it.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
because
go away, maybe.
psychologists say
Sure.
that men actually have more like emotional issues than women do, because women will talk it out with their girlfriends,
Yeah.
and men don't. You
No.
two go fishing all day and don't say two words.
Yeah.
And so where women tend to talk things out and get it out and work through a lot of that emotional stuff, men don't. If they've gone through something traumatic like the death of a child
Sure.
or a divorce, loss of a spouse, they bottle that up, and like you said, that's a weakness to say, I could use some help here.
Could.
I need someone to give me a shoulder to lean on. Men don't tend to do that.
But they don't. But you know what's funny about it? And I was involved with Promise Keepers back in the 90s a lot. And when men start doing that, when they start asking questions and asking for help from other men, they find out pretty quickly that everybody else is kind of like they are. And everybody feels kind of the same way, and we all need help.
Yeah.
But it's perceived to be a weakness if we ask for help, so we don't. But it's almost like the floodgates open. If one guy says, you know, I need somebody to help me with this thing, then everybody wants to get involved.
Yeah.
And the speakers at this event are just exceptional. I've heard most of them. In fact, I've listened to all 4 hours of the DVD, and they're really good. Many of them are pastors. Coach Tony Dungy is one of them. He coached the Indianapolis Colts to the Super Bowl.
So this will be a DVD of
It is a DVD event.
Okay.
But we have it at the fairgrounds. I don't know if we'll have 50 or 500, but we're set up to take whatever comes. We have screens coming with rear projectors and all that sort of thing. Good sound, so we're gearing
Is
up
it an
for
all-day
whatever comes.
event?
Goes from 8:30 to about 4 o'clock.
Okay. Do you serve lunch?
We'll have lunch. We'll have chili from Wendy's.
Okay.
It's kind of a low budget deal, but
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Well, it's a man
Wendy's
event.
has
We can eat
excellent
anything.
chili.
Well, yeah, I mean, if the guys want to come and they think they're not going to have enough to eat, bring a brown bag. Bring what you
Yeah.
like to eat
Yeah.
and eat it. That's okay.
So is there a cost associated?
There
I see
is. There's a
something
$20 registration fee. That covers the workbook and lunch.
Okay.
Almost, but it
Yeah.
kind of covers some of the expenses. And I really need to have the people register by the 21st of January, because if I need to order additional workbooks, it'll take 10 days
Yeah.
to get them in. So
Yeah. So you
I
need
a
that
little
time
advance
to make
notice
sure
in.
you have
So
it
now
on.
how do they register? Where do they contact?
They can contact me, Larry Nelson. I'm in the book. I have a landline,
Okay.
425-5718. My email address is larrynelson@suddenlink.net.
Okay.
I have sent out emails with information to 32 different pastors. One was a Baptist Association, White River Baptist Association. They sent it out to 34 churches. I've sent out emails to 30 plus key men contacts in congregations, and I'm hoping that what they'll do is catch on fire for the event and decide to start calling some of the guys in their congregations and get 10 or 15 guys from their church to come. But it's a non-denominational event. I've looked at all of it. There's nothing denominationally offensive in it. It is a Christian-based, and it is faith-based, but that doesn't mean you have to belong to a church to come hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's men's issues. It's things that men probably would love to hear somebody advise them about.
So
and
there'll
talk
be
about.
discussion like after Tony Dungy speaks, then will there be someone for a guided discussion there locally?
The format is that they will have some video, then they have a thing that I call go sit in a corner and think about it a while.
Okay.
Some quiet time to think about some questions that are in the book. Then there'll be some more video, and then there's a thing called Circle Up, where they encourage 4 or 5 guys to get in a group and talk about some of the questions that are there. So there is some be still and think about it, and there's some
But there's plenty
get
of
in a group and talk about it.
interaction,
Yes.
so you won't just be listening to something and having to go home and digest it
And
yourself.
in the DVD that I've watched, it moves from one speaker to the next to another one quickly enough that you never feel like you're listening to a sermon.
Okay.
You know, there's not much opportunity to go to sleep.
What
on
about
it.
follow-up help after the? Is there resources that people can contact?
There's a 10-week series that Family Life Ministries has developed for small
If you want to
groups.
go further.
If they
with it.
wanted to go a little further,
Yeah.
if they like the idea of getting together with a few other men and talking about some of these things, there's a 10-week series that they put together for that men could form a group of 5 or 6 or 7 guys and get together once a week and do this on purpose.
Okay. If they want to start, but there's no group formally here that meets once
No.
a month or whatever.
No.
This is just an event that to get people started if they have men's events or men's issues.
Well, they don't have to have any issues.
Yeah, but
if
they
they're,
can-
if
yeah.
they're a man, they got issues.
They've got
They
issues
do.
regardless.
I saw Randy Ludwig, who's a minister at the First United Methodist Church, at a funeral a few months ago, and I hadn't seen Randy in a while, and I was talking to him afterwards, and I said, you know, Randy, men of faith need a place to get together. The Baptists and the Methodists need to figure out how to get together outside of funerals. Because I said, there's just not enough time to spend good quality time with each other. And he said, you know, you're right. So we've got Baptists and Nazarenes and Methodists and Assembly of God and no names and no labels, all kinds of contacts coming. And I think it'll just be good.
Okay. Well, it's a start anyway. Larry, thanks for coming. Appreciate
Thanks for
that. If
having
you're
me on.
interested in this, it's called Stepping Up Men's Event, February the 2nd at the Baxter County Fairgrounds
Yes.
from 8:30 to 4. And
Yes.
we've got your contact information up there and also at
Great.
the end of the show. And if you'd like to contact Larry, you can do so.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate
Appreciate
it very
it.
much.
Up next, we're going to be talking with Kim Croshaner from the Baxter County Library. Stay with us.